Howdy there, folks. How are y'all doing? My name is Rees, if you're new. If not, welcome back to some more Satisfactory. Last time, we definitely didn't waste an hour and a half of our lives trying to locate a tractor that is on the map, or at least on the compass, but is not in the world. It's underneath the Candyland forest. Waste of time. We did discuss coming back, though, and working on iron production and processing, which I'm going to do today after I first do fabric, jump pads, walkways, and steel production, and logistics in K3. We don't have to do these things, but I would like to have the storage container and MK3 belt, Mark III belt, before we continue with working on iron, because there's a lot of stuff I want to do that involves having these higher-end devices, storage containers, and higher-end belts, and that requires, in order to even complete this, we have to do steel production. And then I figure we might as well do everything in Tier 1 and Tier 2 while we're here, and we've got some time. So I'm going to go ahead and submit everything we need for the fabric. It's just plates, rods, and wire. Get that out of the way. And we're going to have to wait a while for the pod to come back. How long? Let's launch the pod. We're going to be waiting a rock solid, looking at my screen, waiting for it to show up. Oh, new parts. How exciting. Look, I'll level with you. I'm not really... Let's do steel production left. Now let's go ahead and do jump pads, because we can do that immediately afterward. Oh, wait, what? That was it? It didn't send anything away in the pod. I thought we were going to be sitting here waiting for the pod to come back, but no, the pod didn't even launch. How fortuitous. So we can just load this thing up and launch the pod. Do you reckon it...
Milestone reached.
What? There it goes. Okay, that's good. So we can now use mycelia to create biomass. We can make fabric for reasons as of yet unexplained to me. And I think if we go into the build menu, we should have access to some jumpy pads somewhere around here. A jump pad, tilted jump pad, some U-jelly landing pad. I don't care about any of this. This isn't really interesting to me. I have no desire. I mean, maybe if we get into some really weird automation stuff, sure. But I don't know. I don't know about that. Let's go ahead and say next up we'll do walkways. And I'll get to work on getting the, I suppose those are advanced plates, or what do you call these? The reinforced iron plates? Yeah. The reason we're doing this and we're getting all of these other things out of the way is, I want to clear out this entire area here. I'd really like to be able to remove rocks, but I don't think that's a thing we will unlock. But I want to clear out this entire area and set up our iron production sort of right in here, nestled between those rocks and these rocks, because I guess we can't get rid of them. And the idea is we're going to have three separate mines, three separate miners set up. Quarries, I guess we could call them. I'm pretty much just running with this game as if it were Tekkit, so we might as well just call them quarries, but they are miners. Have three separate miners. We can unlock Miner Mark II eventually. Maybe we'll put those up instead. Have all of those piping out directly into a facility, which cooks up the product, and then splits it into several different lines, going all the way down, creating rods, creating plates, creating nails, combining it with other items. I've got big plans. I want to get to a point where pretty much everything we have access to currently, hopefully by the end of this or next video, is being automatically manufactured and put away in storage containers. Hey, the pod is back! Just in time too, pod. I've got some gifts for you. I understand you want some plates, you want some rods, and you want some super fancy plates. I've got those around here too somewhere. Boom, reinforced plates. You get back out of here, scamp. You continue your flight through the stars. I'm going to start working now on steel production. This is going a lot faster than I thought it would. Pod has returned. Welcome back, Pod. Hope you had a safe journey. Now that you've returned, I'd like to fill you up and send you out again. I wonder if the pod ever gets just sick of this. If the pod ever flies back in and thinks, alright, time to chill for a bit. It's been a long, hard journey. I'm ready to rest, to cool off, to refuel. No, please, not again! Don't do this to me. The pod isn't sentient, everyone. The pod is basically a flying robot. It does all of this by itself. It doesn't care. It has no feelings, no emotions. It's like a cow. Now we have to build a motor. We have to build 50 of them, and the motor is going to require that we have rotors, which we know how to make, starters as well. Starters require that we have steel pipes, and the steel pipes require that you have a steel ingot, and a steel ingot requires that you have iron ore and coal. It does say iron ore specifically, so raw, unprocessed iron. That's not a thing I've got an abundance of, but it is a thing I can get. Let's put some stuff away here. We'll need to go right to the source in order to access that and pull it out. It is probably full, I'd imagine. I think it's producing more than we're processing. So yeah, we've got a full stack in there. We've probably got a bit in here, and hopefully a bit in here. So I can make me a bit of steel now. Oftentimes I feel I'm being taunted by those two, it looks like two slugs up there, that I can't reach because of the poison pods that I don't know how to deal with. I haven't tried just sawing them down, and I don't know if I could. There's got to be a way to deal with that in the future, though. I'm curious now how exactly we're going to go about automating steel production. I have no idea. We're going to have to somehow get the coal from the coal plant, possibly using an automobile, because what could go wrong there, to bring the coal back over here and then pipe the coal up into something that can we have a device, I think, that can combine two different items to create a third different output. I'm understanding this game more and more, though. The pod is less than a minute from returning now, and I am nowhere nearer to completing this goal. It turns out there's a lot going into making a motor, and I have enough materials now to make 18 of them, and that's it. I'll go ahead and make the 18 of them. I'll do that much at least, but jeez. At the very least, we have enough cables here. That's one thing, and we probably have enough wire. I didn't count it, but we have a ton, so that's good. Motors and modular frames now are all we're missing. All we're missing. Tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna make some more power shards, and that'll give us a total of 3 of them. Because one of the things we need an awful lot of, and we don't seem to have enough of ever, is rods. Iron rods are immensely important. We can't keep up with them. But maybe we can overclock this bad boy by putting one of these in there, and then just cranking it up, and then, I don't know, maybe adding another one, and then taking it up to, what is this, 250%? That ought to do it. How are we doing on power, though? Is that not listed over here? We should probably, we'd have to go really far to find out. Wait a minute! Can we check production on these? I think we can, even though they're turned off and out of fuel. Yeah, we're fine. The capacity's still at 100. We're consuming, what did that say, a max of 57? So we're good. The concern here is that we might not be moving the iron quickly enough along this conveyor belt here. No, it's got plenty of stocked inside of it, so I think we're good. So it's producing 37 per minute. Still not a lot, but it's better. Since we have such a good stockpile of plates, let's switch this one over to rods too. And then that way we'll produce even more. How much do you produce by yourself without any speed upgrades? 15? Okay, it's a little bit better. The two of them together will start producing, hopefully, enough rods to keep up with our needs. Hopefully now we have what we need to create a new tractor. I'm not sending this one away, though. This one is staying here with us. Now might be the time to build the miner MK2. It's going to require a portable miner, an encased industrial beam, some more steel pipe, and some cable. And the reason we're going to build this is because I think we need more steel, a lot more... What the Shrek is... Okay, we were inside of the hub. We're going to need more steel. In order to get that, we're going to need a lot more coal and a lot more raw iron. And I think it's time to set up a second miner, is where I'm going with that. Yeah, boy! Yeah, I wasn't sure if I would be able to get over that. We're going to have to do it one more time here, and then I think we'll just keep it on this side. Let's see. Ah, dadgummit. It's all good, everyone. It's all good. Check this out. We're going to do some mad stunts over here. Oh, baby! Nice! We need to do some sort of a show where we have this thing come down a big ramp and then just jump over the poison pits or something. Have you had enough time to possibly mine up additional ores? Kind of. So for this, we're going to need 10 steel pipes, which I'm going to have to make some of anyway for other purposes, and an encased industrial beam, which needs steel beams and concrete. Well, that's not too bad. How many steel beams? 4! 4 per... Okay, that's ridiculous, but I'll make the 12 of them necessary then. Is it 12? No, it's 16, isn't it? For our 4 encased industrial beams. I can do math sometimes. And then after that, just another portable miner. Okay, putting down the miner MK2 right next to the original. And I'm going to try to orient this one so it exits out in a better direction as opposed to into the side of a mountain like what we currently have. Oh, baby! Look at that bad boy. Alright then, gotta hook this thing up to the power. Do we have any... Oh, we're all out of room there. I have to plug it in there directly. And it should get going immediately. Let's take a look inside. 120 per minute, yes! And we could overclock it if we wanted to add some overclocking power shards, but we don't at the moment. What we do want to do is throw down a... Where would I find one storage container? Right out front here. You can't line them up perfectly sometimes. It's a real hassle. You can't hook them together. You'd think that would be like a good functionality, but it's just not available. We'll hook that together, and that is going to necessitate the use of the upgraded conveyor belts between the two of them. Nice, to haul that much iron. But we now have a very consistent flow of iron that we can use to create more steel, which we can use to create more motors. Yay! So the way I envision it is we'll have one MK2 set up over here creating nothing but rods, one set up creating nothing but plates, and then one set up creating maybe a mix of iron and steel, and those can be changed. We might have one set up to do all rods and one set up to do plates and whatever, you know. Each one will have its own sort of dedicated function, and then it'll go through a series of different devices and different machines that will automatically convert it into all your little different knickknacks and whatnots. You'll have nails, of course. You'll have... Or, I'm sorry, screws. I always say nails. Well, we'll go with it. Why not? You'll have rotors and motors all being built automatically. This is just in my mind, though. We'll see about what actually ends up happening. This little automated production we got up here is going to be just nothing compared to what I've got in my mind. I just have to get it out there. It's sort of like when you think about writing a book. You've got the book in your mind, and you think, this is pretty great, but just wait until I get it out on paper. It's going to blow everybody's brains. It's going to be incredible. And then, of course, you never actually end up writing it, because can what you've imagined actually live up on paper? Can it? Probably not. Do you have the capacity to write it? Unlikely. It's kind of hard to believe, but I've done it. I've actually managed it. I've got enough motors now. I don't have enough modular frames, though. Completely forgot about the need for modular frames. 25 of the darn things, as it happens. Which is, of course, why we needed so many rods. I did it! I made an extra one by mistake. We'll end up using it at some point. Logistics MK3! Yeah, boy! So that's unlocked some new fun stuff in the build menu. That's given us access to the better conveyor belts, which I'm looking at for the first time here. I didn't even look up what they were going to require to manufacture, and it looks like they use some sort of whatever that is, probably steel. It's probably going to need steel. Well, let's scroll down a ways and see what we can find here. Steel beam. Right on. Steel beam. Okay. That's fine. I can manage that. I can make some more of those. And if we look under organization, we should have the new store. Again, just lots of steel for the storage container Mark II, which just looks like a regular storage container with a thing on top of it. Fair enough. Oh, we got all these walkways and ramps and stuff from previous missions that we've completed that I have not even looked at yet. Look at this. This is pretty cool. It's a gate. That's unique. I wonder why, though. Why, though? What are you going to do with that? Here's the Foundry. This is what we need to create steel by piping in both coal and iron. Got to figure out a way to get coal to it. We might need to relocate our truck stop over here and just drive coal over. The problem is, can the truck manage that? Or should we just pipe it over using a bunch of plates and conveyor belts? We might as well. I just don't trust the truck to make the trip back and forth. The tractor, this tractor over here, if we automate it, it's gonna end up like the other one in purgatory, way over on the other side of that mountain there. This here is truly where the fun begins, because now I have to take a good hard look at all this and work out how I'm going to orient all of it and do some brainstorming. I think we're gonna build a lookout tower. I think we're going to do it, because it might make orchestrating all of this a lot easier if I can do it from a vantage point way up high. Like, say, right here. Now, how do I get to the top of it? It's... I got a ladder, naturally, as many towers do. So we can crawl up to the top and get a bird's eye view of the situation. So now I can open up and go to Foundations. Look at this! Oh, this is cool. Right, so... I suppose what we want to do is not be up here, really. We want to be down there, and we've got a lot of work to do to clear all of this out of the way. First things first, power's going offline. How about that? All of these things should shut down fairly quickly. Got to get rid of these conveyor belts. Do we have enough room in my inventory for all of this? I haven't even checked. Probably not. We'll give this some time to clear out then. Let's set this back to creating iron plates for now. I think we've got pretty good stock rods going. In the meantime, I got to come over here and empty some of this out of my inventory. Hey, look at that. Production is ground to a halt. Exactly what I was hoping for, because it's all going down. Okay. Everything looks a lot smaller when you're inside of the tractor. I don't know why. Once you get out of the tractor, everything is a lot bigger and further apart. Maybe it's because you're moving quicker inside the tractor. I couldn't say. Let's build our MK2. I kind of want to have it lined up where it's pointing more or less in the same direction. So that's the second MK2, and then this here is going to be the third one, and it's going to sit on this final node, which I guess needs to be cleared away first. I think we're good. I think we're all lined up. That's all three of those. I don't know about the storage container. I'm thinking I'm going to get rid of that for now. I don't know. Yeah, I figured I wouldn't have enough inventory space for all of the iron. We're going to take some of this back with us because we need to make a lot of steel. Where's the tractor? We can put a lot of this inside the tractor too. Yes, load up the tractor. I want to build this thing pretty high up off the ground, but I noticed, we'll go ahead and put one of these smaller ones down, and I'll show you what I mean. These taller ones don't stick up as tall as I know they have the potential to. So what I think we'll do is we will put down a layer of the smaller ones, the 8x2s, and then we'll go back through and put down the 8x4s on top of them. We're effectively making foundations for our foundations. Right, so that's a pretty good start. Like I said, though, we're going to go up another layer with these big old bad boys. There we go, we got the floor done now at least. That was more concrete than I think we've ever used. We got all of our miners activated now. I'm not sure how we're doing on the power grid, but hopefully we're doing okay. I guess we could move our overclockers over to the generators if we need to, if the situation demands it. That's more or less going to get the job done. Now I need to get some reinforced plates so that we can get the... this didn't line up perfectly, as you could probably tell. But we got to get the materials up in here. Alright, so now we've got conveyor belt MK2s, which is the maximum necessary for right now, although I guess, theoretically, if we wanted to overclock these, we would need the MK3s. They're coming in, and we got to determine what happens to them once they get here. Now, this one over here was a bit further ahead than the other two, and had to decide what to do with it, so I decided it would be our primary steel producer. Not sure how I'm going to get coal over here, and also I'm not sure how quickly... Where is it? Is that underneath production, the Foundry? I don't know how much it can produce per second, and if it's not a whole lot, we might split this up into two different things, but what's the problem here? Missing steel pipes and other things, and we got to figure out how to get coal over here, and I'll probably just do a massive... huge over the top. How many iron plates would it possibly take? Conveyor belt run. Let's turn this bad boy back down to 100% and take out our overclockers because I've got something else for those to do. And I wasn't joking. We're going to need a lot of steel plate. Alright, now fortunately we do have an additional output open right here that we can utilize. There we go. Want to get it lined up with that. I wonder if that's going to be... That's going to be too great of an incline, isn't it? I know this game well enough to know that it's not going to like that. Oh my gosh, it does! It really does! Or at least, at a minimum, it doesn't mind it. These, what I was going to do next was come over here and make sure we're producing enough power, because things are going to get a little bit crazy pretty quickly with the amount of power we're going to need. So we're going to boost both of these up to 150%, and maybe we won't need that much power, but maybe it doesn't hurt to just be prepared on the off chance we do. So we'll have both of these going full speed now. We've got plenty of coal. It's not a problem. We'll put another one of these here and make that one as tall as we can. Oh, do you think we're pushing it now, though? Do you think this is it? Is this going to be the... That's the breaking point. Well, dadgummit. We need to get it at least tall enough to go over this wall. It doesn't strictly need to be much taller than that. In fact, that right there would probably do it. We probably just could have gone directly up to there without this middle one, because that looks sort of ridiculous. My worry was if we didn't do it like this, though, it would block this door. But I don't know. What happens if we delete both of these poles, as well as, I guess, this power line? I don't think I have an inventory space for the coal, but we'll see. Could I then put this down right here, and then go all the way up with it? Do you think that then this would... Ah, dadgummit, not quite. What about just right there? What if we did it right there, and then it goes right to there? That leaves plenty of room for the door. It doesn't look quite as funky. It ought to be okay. I just got to get it across from there to like up there now. Which means I guess I should probably... It says it's conveyor belt too long. Invalid location, too long. Can we get it across? I don't think we can get it across to here. Oh, we can get it to right there. Maybe we can get it to right here. If we can get it to right there, I'll be pretty happy with that. Let's see. Conveyor belt. Oh my gosh, it's too long! Oh, never mind. Never mind. Oh, good, that's working. So we've got the conveyor belt built now. Probably the biggest conveyor belt I will ever... Nah, that's not true. I'll probably end up building a bigger one at some point. We could have just built a vehicle. I could have outlined a path that would have made it a bit more difficult for it to fall off into crevices, and we could have just run a conveyor belt from the truck station, or moved the truck station over here closer. But it's too late now. Here comes the coal. You can see it. It's right over there. Okay, I reckon we'll be good putting the foundry down right here. I haven't thought about how I'm getting power into this place, but we'll figure that out later. Now, the reason I'm putting this here is because I wanted to theoretically give us an option to split the iron, but looking at it, we don't really have enough room to do that with where I just placed it, because if we put the splitter here, well, I guess it can go out that way into the... Okay, we might rethink about where I just put this. We might move it. I think we could put the foundry down right there instead, and then we can have the coal going in through this side, right over this rock here that I couldn't get rid of. Ah, at a bit of an angle. Can I still get a wall in over here? I might want to build it off further in that direction, so I won't worry about it at the moment. Then we can put down a splitter somewhere around in here. If we find a conveyor splitter, there we go. We could put it down right here if we wanted to, and they can split off and go to other places right after it gets through the wall. Yep, that suits me just fine, and that's fairly well lined up, surprisingly. So we'll get our MK2, and then coming out of this other side, we will not need an MK2, we'll just need an MK1, because we're going to split it to go a couple of different places. Do I want to... Yeah, that's good. That's fine right there. So this should now be able to produce steel ingots. How about that? Well, it needs power, but how about that? I guess we can go ahead and get it powered up for the time being with the power grid we're going to put up here. I haven't decided if this whole area is going to be fenced in, if I'm going to make it have like walls and a ceiling. I don't know about a ceiling, maybe walls though, in case all the creatures that we've been forcing out of their homes decide now is the time to strike back against me. You know, these things happen. So now let's throw down a basic smelter, kind of in line with that one. And while that line is producing steel, this line here can produce regular iron. And this regular iron isn't going to be processed anywhere. It's just going to be used strictly as iron, in case I need iron for other projects. Oh boy, or should we do that? I'm trying to think now. Would we be better off if perhaps we did 2 steels? Because steel is used for a lot of things. We're probably going to need more steel moving forward than we will iron. We're not moving enough coal though, because this takes 3 coal and 3 iron. We're not moving enough coal at the moment. So I don't want to have to replace all these with tier 2, but at some point I might have to replace them all with tier 2. Shrek me. I don't know what I'm doing. It doesn't look like this is filling up. Yes, there's a bit of a stockpile in there. I think that's from when I didn't have the power plugged in. But, I guess it is. It is getting more coal than it's using. So we might be able to split the coal off into 2 separate runs and have 2 different foundries going. That might be a better call. So we'll have the coal continue to come in through this window, because what else are we going to do here? There's a rock in the middle of the darn thing that I can't get rid of. And then we'll have 2 foundries. So foundry number 1 is easy enough to set up. Just go right out of there into there, and then go right out of here into there. Foundry 2 is going to require that we get this kind of up and over. I can do that. I can use one of these, I guess. I don't need you to be that... It's not going to turn it... This is going to be a grand old time. Alright, second foundry. Had to go get the materials for it. Gonna have to wire this one up. This is gonna be a feat if this works. Oh! How about that? Okay. Good. Yeah, I knew that would work. I knew it all along. I was just sort of play acting at how, it's a real struggle. I don't know if it's gonna work, but of course I was confident all along, and confidence paid the cat. Just like in that old fairy tale. That's not a real thing, but there you go. Steel production is underway. Well, no, it's not. I've got to select steel production, and then steel production will be underway. We might not have enough coal to keep it going at a good pace. We're starting to have gaps in our coal delivery. But let's see. Let's watch the coal and see what happens. 4, 5, 6... Yeah, now that it's running out of the backlog... Yeah, so coal is going to be the slowdown factor in all of this. We're still producing 30 per minute, according to this up here. I guess that's based on the current flow of coal. But, yikes. I can always upgrade later if I need to. I am only just now starting to realize what an undertaking this truly is, this little plot of mine. And the amount of effort that's going to go into getting it all set up the way I want to. And I don't know if I have time to go much deeper than where I currently am. This will split off into 3 smelteries. Good. And then they all need power. Let's go ahead and grab that and bring it down to somewhere over here. Maybe just right down to here. Going to need a lot of power lines, because you can only split off of a power line a couple of times. I don't know how beneficial it is to daisy chain power like this. It just seems like you're going to run into some sort of fire hazard eventually, you know? And plus we've got cables running through machines, and they don't seem to mind, but I just don't think it's safe. So each of these can process 30 per minute, but you're outputting 120, so we're only processing 90. 20. Why is there an upgraded splitter at some point? The splitter isn't called, let me check. It's not called an MK1. Well, neither's the MK1 conveyor belt, so I guess maybe later on we will get better splitters and we can split down more granularly. For now, folks, I think we're done. I know that I've been recording for about 3 hours now, and I sort of imagine this is going to only be 1 or 2 videos, so I need to call it, because this has gotten well and truly out of control. And probably none of this will be permanent. At some point we'll get better miners and better machines, better smelters and whatnot, and we'll go along creating other different things. But for right now, I think that the plan is, when we come back, another 3 smelteries here, hooked up to this one. We can overclock these smelteries, I've realized. We could put an overclock upgrade in there and get each of them going a little bit higher to compensate for the additional, well, that's not really made a difference, 45 per minute? Yeah, we could do that. And then that would certainly compensate for the additional ores that we're extracting. We could make up the difference. We'll see. We'll have to figure all of this out as we go. Let me take that out of there because I'll forget it otherwise. And look, next time we'll continue. Thank you folks for watching. God bless you. I'll see you later. Bye.